Hey guys, Terminator here with another Unison League video. So it's basically everyone who had gems went crazy over this Lucifer spawn. I think it's time to review how useful the gear and the weapons are. So let's just start off with the weapons because they're the easiest since every weapon is basically the same skill. First off, let's just go over the skill. It's Fatal Plasm L, meaning that it's actually a Fatal Testament plus a 5000 heal. So the 5000 heal is really kind of a joke because of how high your HP is, okay? In PvE, your HP is the lowest, and even then, the 5000 is kinda like very minuscule compared to your total HP pool, and in GVG and Colo, your HP is even bigger, so the 5000 doesn't really mean that much, but it can mean the difference between dying and living, so it's a nice thing to have. For Lancers, at least, I think it's a really nice skill because Fatal Testament essentially increases your base AP of your attack by 40. So meaning that your Savage Sting usually does what, 210? I don't even know. Wait, no, way off. Wow, 170, right? So it usually does 170, and you do a fatal proc that is 210, right? Whereas if you proc a Physical Testament, it's only 20 AP, so it's only 190. So in my opinion, having a Fatal Testament is a bit better than having all Physical Testament. So if you're a Lancer and you got this, definitely do keep it and don't use it as infusion material. Imagine the opponent is broken and you proc a Fatal Testament as well as the Physical Testament. Holy shit, imagine your damage. It's insane. So yeah, definitely it's a keeper. Next, let's just go to the gun because I got so many fucking guns, okay? As I said before, this is essentially a Fatal Testament, right? Meaning that archers who are already rolling in Fatal Testaments, they don't really need this gun particularly because they already have Fatal Testament XXL. I know it's like really top end archers, right? They all have Fatal Testament XXL or like better, like the Athena bow, or like the Celtic bow, or even the 30 cost XXL bow. So for them, this is not as useful. So if you're an archer and you don't have all Fatal Testaments yet, or like your procs aren't as useful, meaning that they still proc imaginary or whatever other attack that is not in the 5th ring, like if you're planning to play as an archer in endgame, the attacks you'll be using are Quasar Waltz, Deadly Aberrus, and maybe even Etude if you need a 3rd attack, but usually it's just the Quasar Waltz and Deadly Aberrus. So those are the only 2 procs you need to kind of work on. You have to make sure that all your bows proc those 2 attacks, especially Deadly Aberrus, because that's your main damage dealer. For those of you guys who have procs that don't proc those 2 attacks, this might be a good replacement. But aside from that, if you're all rocking XXL bows, then there's no reason why you want to replace an XXL with a XL. You feel me? You feel me? Because the 5000 HP, come on. And oh, I forgot to mention, this is not a multi-hit heal. Meaning if you do Deadly Aberrus and it's a multi-hit attack, right? It's not gonna heal you for like 15,000 or 20,000. I don't know how many hits it is. 4 hits probably. It's not gonna heal you for 20,000. It's only going to heal for 5,000 because you're only using that one attack. For example, if you proc Fatal Testament XXL, you won't get healed because this is not part of that proc. You feel? So yeah, the heal is really it's a nice, but it's like not that nice. You feel? Okay. The sword. Now with the sword, like the lance, I think it's super useful because of a lot of the top end soldiers already use Fatal Testament in their main slot because of the AP that it adds to your attack. So this is another thing that's viable for them, and I love it. I love it. Mages, it depends on what you use for your skills, to be honest. So if you're a meteor user, right, then this staff is entirely useless to you because meteors can't crit. If you use like Blood Oath and other attacks like Skewer, Blood Oath, Calamity, right? This can be useful to you because those have a chance to crit and therefore proc Fatal Testament. So whether or not you want to keep it is entirely up to you. I just have so many of them that seeing it pisses me off, man. Just seeing these guns and this staff pisses me off. Now, last but not least, healers. So healers, thankfully they didn't get a Fatal Testament, right? It's Plasma of Health, so it's like a healing testament, meaning it procs all heals, and it also gives you additional 5,000 heals. So it's nice, definitely, because it procs everything. But if you have weapons that have a specific proc, like this one, Aid Mastery, which procs for aid and greater aid, these type of procs will definitely do more than this proc, meaning that you'll heal more if you proc this using aid than if you would use this for aid. You feel? So, but overall, this is a really good weapon for clerics. If you got it, congrats. If you're not a cleric and you got it, then I'm sorry for your loss. But you can still make a cleric in the future, so it's not entirely a loss. I always look on the brighter side of things because, you know, given my luck, I have to look at the brighter side of things. Okay, I think that covers all the weapons, and now let's go to the defensive gear. So the defensive gears, let me first address. So they can come with different elements, as you can see here, right? This is wind and this is fire. So whenever you spawn and you see this question mark, it means that it can come with multiple elements, including the null element. I think the null element is the best because it gives each category 6 points, whereas the specific element category only gives 20 points to that element. So you do the math, you get it gypped by 10 points, which is kind of stupid. But hey, you know, I didn't make this game, so hey. With the gear, it comes as physical damage down XXL or magical damage down XXL. So depending on what class you are, you want to equip different things. For example, if you are a soldier, right, your mages do a lot of damage to you, so you might want to equip magical XXL. Same thing with lancers, because archers do a shit ton to you, and their main attack is Deadly Arbalest, which is a magic damage attack. You want to equip magical XXL. And if you're a mage, obviously you go with the physical, because, you know, lancers be raping you left and right. So it all depends on what class you are, and of course what you were able to get. So whichever you got, whichever you need, you equip it, and that's the end of that. Last but not least, let's go over Lucifer himself. So with Lucifer, I'm going to be as unbiased as humanly possible, but there will still be that hinge of salt because I didn't get him. But I'm just gonna go. So he attacks, first of all. He does 200 damage, right, when max skilled. So 200 damage plus an ability power that heals for 60, and then he gives each class a specific buff that lasts for 50 seconds. Let's evaluate him in different scenarios. So in PvE, right, obviously the buff is what matters the most, and since it only lasts for 50 seconds, which is probably equivalent to like 2 waves, I don't find him particularly useful in PvE. I think Valks by far are the most useful buff monsters in PvE because their buffs last for 2 minutes, okay? So that's my 2 cents there. But for GVG, I think he's really good, especially for his buff. But you gotta make sure that when you use him, right, only you are using him, because if you use him and then the opponents are also using like some kind of monster, his buff time is reduced by like what I would say, because each animation, right, lasts around like 15 seconds. Like by the time you use Unison, and then when the animation shows, it's like around like 20 seconds. So if you count that, it's like, you know, it's like a 30-second buff. So, you know, that's the part where like this is what stopped me really from going really overboard on spending. So there's that. But the damage for GVG is super nice because you kind of want to chip away your opponent's health and then you can finish them off. So that's really nice, and it also heals a bit. So overall for PvE, I don't really recommend using him, but for GVG, I think it's a yes, and for Kalu, I also think it's a yes. So that's my 2 cents there for the monster. I try to be unbiased, but you know, there's gonna be those milfos saying, "Oh, you're just salty that you didn't get him." I am salty, but I don't think it affected my judgment. For those of you who did get him, congratulations. Hopefully you were able to choose the right stats, you know, because I heard about that one mage who got him and chose Lancer stat. That made me laugh a little. Maybe you can make a Lancer in the future. I don't know. And that is a wrap for the Lucifer review. I have a GVG at the end of the video for you guys, which I also narrated. And though it's not as heart pumping as some of our other GVGs, I think it was still pretty good because both teams had players that were late or were not here. So it was like a fair match in my opinion. So I hope you guys enjoy. So as you can see here, we were down 2 members, so we decided that going to the cleric first is the best option to reduce their sustain. And Big Air Cat actually had no opening, so that would have been a better choice, but we decided on Jonathan, so we went for Jonathan. EE, balls to the wall on Jonathan. It works out, thankfully. There we go, and yes, it works out. I have no idea what happened to Deadpool. He attacked me with 4-stack reflect on, so that was like rest in peace him, because yeah, hit him proc and then my reflect proc is rest in peace him. Alright, so the poor cleric and the poor soldier all by himself. I'm pretty sure the soldier was active, but the cleric wasn't, because her heals were totally off. So poor Nakama all by himself or herself. Not really a Nakama, and you saw we had 3 backline off, so it was a pretty sad battle. And here we go, backline is coming in. I buried myself immediately because I knew I was gonna get fucked over. Here we go, backline coming in. Everything's going crazy. Gabe does a really good job in keeping both me and Leon alive. Leon and I alive, for those of you who are grammar Nazis. And oh my god, I almost died, but I didn't, thank god. And I just go kill Gardo without looking at the time. That was my bad, because you know I killed like 30 seconds too fast. But since we didn't have any backline on, it was like, it was no, you know, there was no time worry. And I go onto Bree with Spade, and then I stay in by myself, you know, because I at least do some damage, kind of, maybe. And yeah, so this Crystal Assault was really sad because 2 of our backline went on. Alex comes on here and he is not doing what he's supposed to be doing. I don't know what he's doing. There's, who didn't? No, we're missing 2, aren't we? We're missing 2 walks. I don't know, someone forgot to walk. Maybe I forgot to walk? What else? So this Crystal Assault was really sad, and around here I think I come in for Bree. This is the ideal time to switch, guys. Like at 5 seconds, if your backline is not gonna kill, this is the time you switch. So like, you know, this is a bad switch because Med is almost dead, I'm almost dead, Bree is almost dead, so that's not a good time. Okay, so they go uni, they have Miku. I don't know why they didn't have a full uni. Usually when you switch into what is it called, recovery mode, you're supposed to be able to get, you know, full uni, and that would have been a lot cleaner, because as you can see here, after they buff and their unison animation takes place anytime now. Alex is coming here for Bree right now, and Meds is just Meds. So I'd wait and I bang, bam, fast fingers. I do Asuka, buy my buffs and bye bye. So that's why buffs are not as good as debuffs in PvP. So I go, ha ha ha. I was so happy with myself right there, because I was like, yes, fast fingers. Personally here, I think Leon should have done a, what is it called, Neza, because barrier is a lot better. She should have sacrificed herself for Neza. So both Alex and I could have been protected, as well as Gabe, of course. And this is where I go down, because too many archers, man. But thankfully, Alex was able to bring down another archer before he went down, or Leon, I couldn't see, but anyway. They go into Crystal Assault. They do a lot better job than we did with our Crystal. So we guild bond, and we exchange, ether exchange. Yes, and again, like we were laggy, like a lot of us were laggy. I had a little lag spikes in between my switches. So that was a little weird. A lot of people say it's because of the new video option on the top, but I don't know. Like, I've been having a bit of lag, and I don't usually lag using on my computer, so that's really weird. Okay, Nihi switch outs for Med, which I don't know if this is a good or bad decision. As you can see here, they almost one-shot our Crystal. Had they done a better job with their unison the previous round, I think they definitely would have been able. If they had wiped us with their unison, they would have been able to one-shot. And as you can see here, we all got unison, but I said not to uni because I thought we only had 3 archers, so I wasn't sure if we can kill the Crystal, but obviously we could have. Bad judgment call right there. and they uni, so we should have uni too. And I did, but I made the wrong, I used the wrong unison master technically, but I think it was okay since 29 is better in terms of cost. But as you can see, Alex here did not use unison, so we got fucked over right here. And at this point I was like, relax, whatever, they killed quite a few of us with their unison. A lot of us were really low in HP right here. I think I die, and as well as Alex as meds. All three of us die here. And Leon and Gabe, I'm pretty sure, live. Yeah, Alex was lagging, so that's why he couldn't. Yeah, so Gabe and Leon live, and she does some damage with her uni, and though she mis-unied again right there. And this is, they shouldn't have killed Leon first. They should have all targeted Gabe, because Gabe was the only sustain here, and because of that our archers were able to come in and do magic damage. Oh my god, this is sudden death. This is the most exciting thing ever. Oh my gosh, archer clutch right there. And because of that fucking clutch, we were able to enter Crystal Assault again, and there we go, we finish off the crystal. I did not know Vicky was on. She came a bit later than the rest of us, but we were down a lot of backline in the beginning, so it just happened. And this was so many, like, this was intense because of the fucking sudden death. I did not know what was going on. I entered in spade. I was like, I gotta kill something, and there was like sudden death, and there was so fast, everything went by so fast, and we won. I don't even know how this one happened, but it happened, and it was pretty fun. That's why I love this match a lot. But hopefully we can get a rematch with them soon when all of us are on, so it's like an even match. I showed them here. They had, I'm pretty sure, like, Jonathan came late. A lot of them came late. I'm pretty sure their backline was all on, but the front line, the two clerics, were not on in the beginning. So I hope you guys enjoyed.
Give up now.